here we are. It's another Saturday morning, a beautiful Saturday morning, and that means it's time to check in with Michele Cummins. It's time for the Cummins Real Estate Show. How you doing, Michele?
Very good, Curtis. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. The weather's been absolutely fantastic last couple days.
It's been amazing.
Are you going to get the motorcycle out?
Yes, actually today.
Today?
It's
okay.
happening.
I was going to say, I imagine the way the weather's been the last little while where you get a nice day and then like it rains for 5 or something, you're like, yeah, maybe not quite yet.
Exactly, but now it's just good weather for so long. In fact, earlier this week, I expected rain and it was good weather, and I'm so excited. The bike is all cleaned up, ready to go. It's happening today.
And what about the dirt bike? When's that coming out?
I was going to do it yesterday with my family, but at Vetter, but I didn't do that. The Duster, that's what I call her. Duster's going to come out maybe next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
So you're getting both bikes out. You're going to get the e-bike out too, start riding your bike around the neighborhood?
Yes, and a friend client of mine, he sent me a photo. He rides as well, and there's blood all over his face. It's horrible. He looks like he was in a major accident, and he goes, I wiped out on my e-bike, but I assumed it was his motorcycle, and I freaked out. And then I saw e-bike, and I'm like, Larry, what the heck?
The e-bike.
And then afterwards he goes, I'm going to go insure my motorcycle later today.
Maybe.
That encouraged him to get on his motorcycle.
I can see that.
It was funny. So we're on show 223.
I completely rely on you to give me the numbers.
Yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there for you. So this is the last weekend of the month, and it feels strange. It feels like summer. You said that the other day on the radio. You go, where did it happen to spring? But I won't complain.
Spring completely bypassed us.
Yeah.
It seems like we had a little bit of early spring and then right into summer.
Yeah. Totally. Summer. Like, it was 70. I was looking out yesterday. I was showing a property, a listing of mine, and it's 70. It's showing on their temperature gauge 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm still in Fahrenheit because that's just my brain.
You've only lived in Canada for how many years?
Only like 25 or something.
And
like
you're
that.
still doing Fahrenheit.
I know. It's a habit. Habits are hard to break. 25 years doesn't even break the habit. I just connect more. I just understand it more. Childhood.
I kind of get that because, 70 degrees sounds very comfortable as opposed to like whatever it is, 24 or something that it would be.
But Celsius makes more sense.
In some
Zero
ways,
means freezing.
0 means freezing, not 32. This is true.
Exactly. It completely makes sense.
Now we're doing a whole lesson on Celsius versus Fahrenheit. And I mean, in school, it was funny because I remember my grade 2 teacher, she could not adapt to the metric system.
No.
So we were still learning everything imperial.
Oh, really? Oh, my gosh.
So I got a good education in both in elementary school. I had a couple teachers like that where it was like they did not get one way or the other, so we just learned the other one.
More wisdom, more training, more learning.
But we do it weird in Canada anyway because we do so many things. Yeah, it's kilometers, it's, milliliters, it's kilogram. Until we have to do, how much do you weigh? Oh, I weigh 180 pounds. Oh, how tall are you? Oh, I'm 5'9". Like it's people do they do everything a certain way until it's like these really, I guess popular things you have to talk about. And then suddenly we go to the standard of imperial again.
Don't ask me how much I weigh.
Well, 106 pounds is easy to figure out, Michele. And 29.
Yeah, I know we were talking earlier about that.
It's funny, you've been here since you were 4.
Yeah, but yeah. Gosh, what happened? I got old fast. So April showers bring May flowers, and all the flowers are out. The fields, the farmers' fields are all these yellow. I mean, it's amazing, all the flowers out. It's beautiful.
And the dandelions are popping up, which I hate dandelions.
Everywhere. Yeah. Oh, the bugs. Oh, yesterday, the bugs were just slapping on my windshield.
There was a June bug on the ball field the other day, and it was one of the biggest June bugs. It was like the size of your iPhone. It was huge.
How did you see? Well, it must have been big if you saw a June bug while you were out in the open field.
Well, it was actually kind of by the backstop, by the, I was like, something's moving over there.
Weird.
And it was just, I'd never seen one that big. It was huge.
Where did it come from?
California. By a nuclear power plant, because that's how big this thing was. Last time I saw an insect that big, it was fighting Godzilla, all right? It was big.
Godzilla. What did you do this week? Anything exciting? Anything new, different?
No, nothing this week, really. Just, just getting in the habit of playing softball every Tuesday and Thursday and trying not to hurt myself because I'm old, and just out doing our thing.
Make sure you do your Pilates and your stretches.
I start stretching at about noon when I have a 6 o'clock, 6:30 game. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Lube up too. Make sure you drink a lot of water.
Yeah, lots of water. And, I'm one of those guys who, there's no beer can around when I'm playing, even if it is like a beer league, because it doesn't work well for me.
Not even like the 2.0s.
I just drink water.
Yeah, smart man. Well, I was pretty surprised because I think it was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I woke up, or Wednesday, and we went dry slough to all of a sudden it being filled. The Fraser River is starting to rise because it was full. And then all of a sudden yesterday, the night before, I get home and lo and behold, I thought my canoe was stolen about a month ago, and now I'm looking out and I'm going, what is this? What's that canoe way out there? I grab my binoculars and my canoe is floating back in. I think somehow it blew away in the wind somehow, this heavy canoe.
Heavy wind, and now it's working its way back.
It's working its way back home.
Well, didn't you send Richard out to go get it?
Nobody stole it. Yay.
Send him out. Go for a little swim. Go get your canoe.
Yeah. No, I want to do it. That's fun.
I don't know if I want to swim in a slough.
Yeah, no. Right now it's a little muddy.
Although you might find your iPhone, but...
No, that thing's lost forever and ever.
Archaeologists one day are going to find us on a dig.
You know what I'm most excited about next week? I get to see Shania Twain.
Oh, right. That's next week already, yeah.
No. Time flies. But yeah, and next week's our stat show too. Very excited about that.
So it's going to be a double exciting week.
Yes. I want to do, I'm bringing some family members with me, nieces and my sister-in-law. And I thought we should all dress up in like one era or one outfit that Shania is really known for. Like if each of us dressed like Shania, wouldn't that be fun?
Well, I mean, you've got lots to choose from when you think about over the course of her career, like from the Any Man of Mine video, the little, vest and stuff, or the... trying to remember the video where she had the kind of leopard print on, that don't impress me much. Yeah. She had a lot of iconic outfits that she's worn.
I think of the first album I was introduced to her with, and she was with her horse, and she was in the blue jean vest, I think it was, or something, with jeans. So maybe that's what I'll wear.
There you go.
Because that stands out to me the most when I first introduced. I was in Kansas, actually. We were going around, my mom and my siblings, and we were driving around for a few months. We lived in the RV, going to capital and just doing stuff. And we were living from the RV. And I remember just hearing her, and I'm like, oh, this is so great. So it was Kansas. I remember where I was at. Funny how music connects you so much, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you're one state over too far because I'm a St. Louis Cardinals baseball fan. So that's my team.
Cool. I never knew that.
Yeah. Cards have been my team since I was like an 8-9-year-old kid. I don't know.
How did you become a fan?
They were in the World Series that year, and they had Ozzie Smith and Willie McGee and all these guys, and they just were a fun team to watch, and I just became a fan and have been one ever since. But I do like the Blue Jays, too, because I'm Canadian, and Rogers owns them.
Blue Jays are pretty rad.
So I do like the Jays. I imagine, I'm going to assume you're probably an Anaheim Angels fan or a Dodgers fan.
How did you guess?
It's the Angels?
I actually love both of them. But I connect more with the Angels. I don't know, maybe I did go and see them. My dad brought me all the time, so. Was
it easier to get to the games in Anaheim than in LA? Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Okay, so I've decided. Oh yeah, actually, I haven't talked to you about this, Curtis. Kurt. There's your new nickname.
I answered either.
So I was thinking, with the new Remax Magnolia opens, instead of the Cummins Real Estate Show, our name should be under the Remax Magnolia Show. So tell me what you think. And that way, all the great agents that will be affiliated with Remax Magnolia can have their own segments, and it can even be greater diversity, information, opinions, stories, topics, and tips for our listeners by having each agent have a segment or be on the show whenever they want to.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I just push the buttons here. You're the boss.
I like it. I love that.
So that's the Remax Magnolia Show.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be great. And it sounds good.
Featuring Michele Cummins.
Yeah, instead of the Cummins Real Estate Show, Remax Magnolia Show. Yeah.
All right.
Love it.
It's going to take me a few weeks to get that right.
No, you did it last time within 3. Remember, I was
Barely.
like 3 strikes.
Barely.
2. You did it. So I want to talk about transparency in the real estate world. So going on to our first topic of our segment, and whether you're buying or leasing, the general public should by now understand that each party to a transaction has to either have their own representation or they choose to represent themselves. This is very well known. Everyone knows that it's their listing agent that works for the seller and or the landlord, and this is no surprise. And realtors have the disclosure forms to ensure this. There's no excuse for ignorance, as they say in the law. No excuse for ignorance, not knowing it, right? So I have an important tip for everyone. Don't lie to the listing realtor when you have a realtor or plan on using one to lease or purchase real estate, and have the listing agent do everything for you that your realtor's job is to do, but then have your realtor step in last second. Now, I've over 20 years of being in real estate, this has happened a lot. And there are some realtors, and I used to do it, and I stopped doing it, where in our realtor remarks, we would say, unless you physically introduce the property to your client, the commission will be X amount of dollars. They still get a commission, but it wouldn't be the whole amount, right?
Right.
And because this has been an issue in the past, whether it's which party is sent, doesn't matter, but it happens. So I stopped doing that though, and I don't want to have to start doing that again, because I want to be able to trust everyone. When you ask the realtor, listing agents should always ask, do you have a realtor? And if you say no, it's either can I refer you to one if you want to be represented in this, transaction. There is a script, there is disclosure up front, and to know if you plan on having one later, just be honest. It's always best to be honest, because trust is very important to a transaction and to human relationships, and especially when this is based on trust, this transaction. So you could have fatally injured the deal from the beginning if you aren't upfront and transparent. So why would you do that to somebody and tarnish your name and reputation at the same time? Because it's the small world out there. So remember, real estate is one of the last professions in the world that you do all the work up front without knowing if you're going to get paid or not, as it's based on commission. So can you imagine asking someone to do someone else's job for free? And can you imagine not telling them they're doing someone else's job for free as they're doing the job until they are about to finish the job, and then all of a sudden another realtor steps in? So this happens all the time, as I said, and it's pretty horrible. Imagine putting extraordinary effort into something, giving up time and energy on those that are loyal or other work you could be doing, but you put that aside to help somebody else when you could be actually working with and getting paid for the work that you do. So we need a paycheck, and everyone needs a paycheck, and unless you ask, that's why it's so important. Just say, my realtor's out of the country, they can't show it to me right now, or they're sick, or they're in Vancouver, they can't come out at that time, they're at an open house. Always there to show the property, our listings, and to help and facilitate. But you just have to be honest and upfront, and it really helps. And if you don't know, then ask the questions. So anyways, that was my little tip for today.
Well, I know that when me and my wife would go to open houses, and one of the first questions you'd often ask, do you have a realtor? And my wife would go, yes, Michele Cummins. Would go, maybe we should ask her first. Because this was early in our whole process. And she goes, we're using Michele. I went, okay. But yeah, it was sometimes you would tell them you have a realtor, and I'm not going to lie, sometimes they would ignore you the rest of the time you're there because they want to concentrate on people that they can get full commission or whatever, depending on the realtor. But for the most part, they seemed really appreciative that you're being upfront and honest and saying, yes, I have a realtor. But again, there were some that at that point seemed to lose complete interest that I was in the building.
Aw, that's not right. The worst thing is when you go into an open house, and when I travel, I try to pop into open houses to meet the realtor, to get to know the market, and most of the time I have good experiences, but it's interesting stepping as a realtor, going to an open house unannounced and just seeing, and I've heard people, they're just sitting there on their laptop and they don't say hi. Everyone's different and everyone works differently, but it's nice when they come up and they're excited and happy and excited about the product that they're selling, and they interact with you. And then, it's nice to give yourself give them time on their own. But yeah, it's hard if you feel like like they've ignored you after that. That's not good.
A couple times, but I always like to. I can always tell, some of the good realtors too, because you go in and they've got like cookies baking, because you get that smell of cookies baking. It's a smell of home, right? It's just like, I'm like, and that's just such a. I know that's an old school trick, but it works so well.
Yeah. And who doesn't like refreshments?
I know, and you walk and you smell something baking, it just takes you back to your childhood or whatever. Home, it makes it feel like home, and I always laughed when I walk into my wife and I go, they know what they're doing. It smells like cookies.
What's the best smell? Cookies, like a chocolate chip cookie, or what in your opinion is the best smell when you?
Well, I would probably say cinnamon buns are pretty amazing, except that when I met my wife, she worked at a Cinnabon, and that was her signature scent when I would pick her up from work for like a year. So as much as I liked it, it was like, okay, I'm getting a little tired of the cinnamon bun smell, so I'm going to go with the chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, that could be a good then perfume, maybe?
Yeah.
No. Body spray?
Plus, she'd always come out and go, here, we have to, throw these out. Here's a box of cinnamon buns. There was like 10 boxes of them in my freezer at home.
They are so good. Actually, that is what I got Richard for his birthday. Not a cake, but cinnamon buns.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, you have them in the morning, you work it out during the day.
That's right.
But it has to have a candle in it. Otherwise, it's not a birthday cake.
Then it's not a birthday cinnamon
it's not a birthday cinnamon bun.
Right. All right, well, we should probably take a break here. If people want more information about the services you provide and your listings and things like that, where can they go?
MicheleCummins.ca.
We're back with more right after this.